So, hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Wisdom Insight with Shaul God's Power. And today we'll be talking about briefly how not to be stranded in life. Now, life's prosperity is felt from two angles of life, and it is either felt by one satanic influence or God's influence. Man is hinged on any of these two perspectives of life. It is either what you do with your mind or what you do with your hands. Now, also understand is that until you get your mind creatively active, you may be stranded in life. Until you get your mind creatively active, you may be stranded in life. Many worries is a dormant mind. Once you see a man that's filled of so many worries so much about life struggles, worries so much about life's challenges, is a man whose mind is dormant. When your mind gets creative, your hands must put it to work. Your minds must be active and your hands must get to work. You don't get your mind creative and leave it at that stage. You must get your hands to put out to work what your mind has thought about. So God can only but prosper the works of your hands. So when a man thinks creatively, he must put to work his hands into creative use, and that is where God can prosper such things. So the works of a man's hands, God prospers. Leave the rod, the Red Sea can never and may never be parted until Moses lifted up the rod that he had in his hand. There were never manifestations of miracles, there were never manifestations of way forward for the people in the land of Egypt. And understand that until you pick up the stone and your slingshot, the Goliath in your life will never go down. So until every man in every field of endeavor picks up the stone and the slingshot of his endeavor and shoots his shot, the Goliath in his endeavors may never go down. So there might be a Goliath that you feel it's in your academics, it's in your career, it's in your business, in every field you're trying to scale through. So, but until you pick up with your hands these tools, you may never bring that Goliath down. So hands can open a door, but you can close that door with your hands if your hands are lazy. So until a man's hands puts to use that door that God has opened for him. So it's not enough for any man to keep on praying anywhere. You keep on praying, God open doors for me, God favor me, God open my ways. Now when God opens your ways, what do you do in those doors that God has opened for you? So a lazy hand will end up shutting the doors that God has opened for him, but a diligent hand will end up creating more doors with his hands out of that one door that God has opened for him or her. Now, lastly on this point, you must put your mind to creative use and your hands to fruitful workings. You must put your mind to creative use and your hands to fruitful workings. And God's favor will keep you launched into realms where you can't be stranded in life. So as you launch out in every field of your endeavors, you must put your mind to creative activeness and put your hands to fruitful use. So when you think creatively, act on those ideas that God has given you. Put up your strength and energy into what you ought to do in life, and you will never be stranded. So do with your mind matters a lot, and what you do with your hands matters a lot. Many people end up at either one of the stages. One, they may put their minds to use and never put their hands to work. Why some people, they put their hands to work without putting their minds to use. And when you put your mind to use without putting your hands to work, it doesn't bear fruit. When you put your hands to work without putting your minds into creative use, you may end up having the worst kind of results. So I Rebellious, your host, Ambassador God's Power, Shaul, come to you every time on Wisdom Insight. I hope you learned from this, and God bless you. Have a fruitful day. Thank you.